also here at Ngozi Talk Shows, Find Your Own Voice, lead from within. How are you, ladies?
Good.
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
How are
good.
you?
I'm good, thank you. Good to see you, Shireen, back on holiday.
Yeah.
And Claudia, you've been on holiday as well, haven't you?
Pardon me?
I mean, Claudia, she's been on holiday as well.
Yeah, in January. Shireen, just last month, right?
Yeah.
So our topic today, guys, is finding love. Finding love isn't about searching, it's about aligning. Finding love can often feel like a daunting task. We live in a world where romantic love is sometimes seen as something you must search for relentlessly, as if it's a hidden someone waiting to be discovered. So, Carol Ann, you chose this topic, or Claudia?
Oh dear, Claudia
Ladies,
chose
one
it.
of you would like to explain, please, the topic?
Yes, absolutely. Daunting, as well, as you already said, like, does it feel sometimes daunting to us as well to find the one, or to find the soulmate as well, like usually as well, we hope and we wait and we search as well to find the relationship, the soulmate, and so on. And then as well, we feel as well disappointed over and over again, or maybe as well you found your soulmate, but then as well deep down you know that the connection is not what it used to be, any longer. So the secret here is alignment. So this is what we are going to talk about, because love basically comes from shifting your energy. If your heart carries unhealed wounds or limiting beliefs and blocks around love, it won't come in, So today I thought we come together and to learn a bit in regards to break free from some old patterns which keep us in the circles of heartbreak, aligning with the energy of love as well, and to deepen the love and the passion as well in the current relationships. So just like a few things we can discuss today.
I like it. It's because there is that thought, you're thinking you have to go out there. You've got to go and search for love, and I know I think I felt when I was growing up, it's like, well, where am I going to find it? So there was this thought, I've got to find it from somewhere. And you hear, no, you've got to get yourself out. You've got to put yourself out there. There's another phrase that you often hear. But there is that element of searching, and I saw this beautiful phrase. It's treated, like a treasure hunt. Something you've got to hunt for, and there's that belief that the harder you search, the more likely you are to find it. Well, actually, it's not the case, because it's like there's a desperation in that. And so I like this idea of aligning yourself. And it's like, okay, so what are we aligning ourselves with? I think is the question that comes here. So again, yes, I'd love to really explore this whole idea. So, Shireen, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I suppose I kind of started looking at some things on that, because I was looking at what is aligning. What is it? Yeah, we talk about aligning. Well, what do we mean by aligning? So I kind of thought, well, let me go on that journey. Let me go and have a look on what that means, and how do we align? Because when we have a conversation, we're actually aligning to something, are we not? But what are we actually doing? We're coming together and we're starting to create some form of a relationship with someone, and we're in this relationship where we're activating aspects of each of ourselves so that we can have this conversation, that we have a mutual goal or a mutual objective that's involved in it. And so I kind of started to think, well, how does that fit with neural networks? How does that fit with just general socialization? And I loved that you said, oh, finding love. Well, maybe when we talk about aligning is really about how do we learn to be with someone else and not be going and finding other things. be with someone in that moment in time and align with them in that moment in time. So start thinking about how can I create this relationship, right? How do we go into synchronicity? How do we find a way that we match these worlds? Because really aligning is about matching. It's matching things up. I was looking at something where it says something like the idea that we have an error monitoring system, and this error monitoring system is always working for us. When the error monitoring system in our body is not activating, it means that we're actually in alignment, because we have nothing telling us that things are going wrong. So when we think about alignment, then it must mean something like we're feeling calm, we're feeling relaxed, we're feeling engaged towards something rather than something where we're moving away from. So I think it's just really focusing. For me, it was just really triggering this idea where, you know, like an alignment in my relationship with my partner. I know when I'm fighting or when there's discord is because I'm moving out of alignment with them. I'm not moving into some form of conversation that will allow me to match needs, each of our needs in some way, which will then allow that dissonance to move, and so that we come into this one place where actually there's clear communication. So yeah, that's where I kind of went with my aligning. And when I first saw the topic, and I thought, oh, that's quite interesting, because I'm doing stuff about neural resonance at the moment for mantras, and I realize it's the same stuff. It's the same thing of creating this amplification of energy connection between people. But in case of neural resonance, it's in the mind. But we want to have the same mind as someone else in a way. When we're actually communicating with them, we want to hear what's going on. When we sort of say, oh, be with curious, what did you mean by that? We're automatically going into alignment with them. We're basically trying to find out and find something that's common, something that's going to resonate with them. That's how we align. Nomsa.
Okay. I'm just finding it confusing.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, because you have to hunt first, and what you're hunting has to align with what you want. So we were talking about it. I think it was 2 days ago with our pastor, and he was saying a man is a hunter. So a man has to hunt a woman that aligns with what he's looking for. But then when someone else hunt that woman for you, that means you're in trouble. And even God has to, that match for you is already ready there. So I think for me, the topic I would say, the alignment is really, really important, because when you talk about the alignment, it means you've got to get ready. Make sure the person that you meet aligns with what you are looking for. So that's how I say it. And then the alignment, because I used to pray to God and say, give me a man that aligns with my destiny. Because if that man does, his vision does not align with what I'm looking for, but you still have to search. So that, I think that's where, yeah, but that search, when it comes, it has to align your relationship, it has to align your man or a woman, it has to align with your energy. Energy has to align, be linked together. If it's not, then it doesn't work. So I think that's how I see the topic. I don't know.
Okay, great.
Because matchmakers, we had hunt. And then
but you're looking for a signal in alignment, or you're
Yeah.
either in alignment or you're out of alignment. So
Yeah.
there's a signal system that's kicking in, that's telling you you're there and you're not there. And what I'm hearing, sorry, interrupting, but what you're hearing is, or what you're experiencing is, a mismatch between something. So when you say what I'm looking for, whether it's an hunter-gatherer or whatever, I'm looking for this, and I'm expecting to find something that's going to match to that, right? If it doesn't match to that that intention or what I'm looking for, then you're out of alignment with it. And you've got to either choose to realign the intention or you move away, right?
And you have to align, yourself has to align with what you're looking for.
Yeah, you have to align with it. And you also have to, and you have to be ready for it, right?
Yeah.
So there's lots of internal triggers and internal alignment that needs to happen in order for you to align correctly with the person that you want, which is why we were talking about self-development, right? Because that's really where we're aligning with ourselves to get that pure intention before we can then start looking or allowing others to come into our space. Yeah.
And you've actually hit the nail on the head in there, because actually you're still using that word, those words, looking for, which is an element of searching. And it's not, and for me, it's not aligning myself to them. It's about aligning myself with myself. And therefore that will attract them to me. And you will, the alignment just happens because you're in alignment with yourself. And this is what you were then saying, Shireen, it's about your aligning with yourself, finding yourself. And it's about being the best version of yourself. And there's lots of things that you can do to actually be the best version of yourself you possibly can. And that isn't actually a destination. It's something that's constantly evolving. So it's a constant thing. And even when you're in a relationship, there's still that evolving going on and being the best you can, and not sort of sitting back and thinking, oh, well, it's done now. You know, the alignment continues with in there to keep that partner with you. So it's about you. And it's not about, for me, you're not searching, you're not looking for. You're
but you are
about
open
just working.
to.
You're open to. And that, again, is part of aligning yourself, being open to, recognizing and noticing, well, am I closed to it? So again, it's all about you and who you're being, how you're feeling, what sort of limiting beliefs you've got going on. And I love that, what you're saying about that neuro resonance, because that's within yourself. When you think about having a partner, what happens to your neuron, or your neurons and your heart? And it's like, is it coherent? It's like you need to have that. That's what the word it's just suddenly came. I was searching when you said about neuro resonance, and I think it's about heart coherence, it's about coherence.
Coherence, yeah.
And are you coherent in your self, in your heart? So this, for me, is what alignment is about.
I mean,
Claudia, what were your...
the thing with the searching and looking for, obviously it's the way the society talks as well, and maybe as well we talk like this as well. Obviously important, first of all, the step is as well ahead to understand what is it you are looking for in regards to the qualities and everything. Love, what type of love is, to get the clarity as well, what you would like to have and to attract. And then as well, the dating scene beforehand, I would see as well as collecting information as well, you know, just like when you go on dates and you meet as well the dates, just to see as well, see it as a learning thing, collecting information so that you can afterwards again reevaluate as well what is important for you in regards to the love. And and Shireen said, just like the word matching things up, and then as well she said something in common. This is a very good step and point as well to look for in regards to be in alignment with that person as well. For example, as well, you have to take inspired action. So aligning with the soulmate's vibration is not just solely as well about the internal work, it is as well, but we have to take action as well, you know, like inspired action, they always play a critical role too. And then as well, why not as well to engage in hobbies or interests that resonate with you naturally so that you can connect with like-minded people in this way, so that you already have, the similar interests, the passions as well, and potentially as well, you could maybe meet as well your next romantic relationship here, yeah?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, something which I think when you were talking about matching the relationships and things like that, I think, Claudia, all those points are really invaluable. I think what I wanted to just go back into something that Carol Ann said was, I was thinking in the sense of when we are aligning with ourselves, we're basically creating, as you said, Claudia, being very, very clear. The more clear we are about what we want, right? Not before we even start looking for anyone, what we want is how we create the coherence, right? How we decide we don't want this kind of person, we want this kind of person, we want this is what we like, this is what we don't like. In our brain, we have these mirror neurons, which are really there to help us develop relationships, right? And the mirror neurons allow us to recognize when people are the same as us, right? When we go to a funeral and we don't sit there and giggle all the time, we are actually sad with people, appropriately sad. So we are in alignment with them. We're doing what they do. So this is kind of how we form in social engagements and things. But I think what I'm going back, I realized that all of a sudden I'm going back to where I really wanted to be, was actually when we have that coherence, what happens is, if you can think about the idea that we then become open to, right? So we have our inner coherence where we go, this is what I want, this is how I want it, this is, or even better, but this is how I feel comfortable in coherence. What happens is when people are out of our alignment, we don't see them, because our activator, our brain has something that is actually a searcher without us even knowing. Right? It is the RI, it's there, it's looking for things, the reticular activating center. And it's an orientation center that will work outside our awareness. It's the moment we have clarity, it's looking, it's like a light beam that will find things, and it will overlook things that don't resonate. It won't even allow us to be even attracted to it. And we'll find ourselves doing things that we never thought we would do, because guess what? Now the light beam is pushing us towards that. So I think if we are really clear, Claudia, which was what you really said there, if we have that clarity, and then we have that active principle of going, okay, this is what I want, this is how I'm going to do it. When I get this relationship, or when this person arises with it, this is how I'm going to be, right? So you've already gone into the future and looked at, this is how I will be in that relationship. You've created that focus for your brain to automatically, or your unconscious mind, to start looking for these people without you needing to be aware. And when they come into principle, they shake you up because now you're starting to come into that space where bits are starting to be aware and awake. And that's when the alignment can truly start to begin, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, I like to mention in regards to this is stepping out of our comfort zone might be required as well here. So just like, what about that you become open as well to meet new people through social events, workshops, or community gatherings as well, just basically where the energy feels right for you. So stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Very much so. Yeah.
But I think when you're going to step out your comfort zone, you should have an idea how you want to be in those scenarios, right? So if I'm going to go into a Star Trek convention, I do like tricky, I would go in there and I would make sure I was dressed as a Klingon. Right, so that I could go inside with the Klingons and have a language, right? Not that I am whatever, but I do like Star Trek. But do you see, you've got to have an idea I'm going to this convention, I'm going to this place, or I'm going to meet this person, and this is how I want to be in that. So you've already started changing, becoming active in that space. And I think it's really important to prime your unconscious mind so that when you do get there, you can be there in that role or in that space, in whatever it is that you want to be. And that's your stretch, right? The stretch is not to go back to your old you, but to be in the you that you want to be, right?
Yeah. But there's also an element of acknowledging who you are and getting to know you.
Yeah.
And what is your strengths and what, because that, as you put it, old you that holds back, that's possibly that isn't actually the real you.
Yeah.
And it's finding the real you and letting that real you out. That's the stretch. And that's and for me, I'd be saying, yes, step outside your comfort zone. I feel that it's more a case of expanding your comfort zone rather than stepping outside of it, because you step outside of it, you're leaving a lot of things behind. And yet sometimes, it's just, for me, it's about expanding your comfort zone. So you've still got things in it.
Isn't it? It's like being an atom and going through all the layers. You're expanding into each layer.
Right. And you find then that there's other things that pop up that you hadn't even thought about, that you suddenly think, oh, I'm doing that now, because you've expanded it. And it's not just about one thing that you're doing more than you were. There's other things that suddenly happen.
And it's not scary, actually, if you go with the metaphor of expanding you, rather than, because
expanding, or what I like to say is, well, being stretched slowly into this, so then it becomes your new comfort zone,
Yeah, all right.
Okay. Yeah.
Good. Nice.
Nomzo, what would you like to add in here?
Yeah, I like Claudia, when you said to get out of your comfort zone. I think people like to get comfortable. They know exactly what they want, but they never really stretch out to truly find that authenticity within them. So it's really, really important to be authentic when you're looking for love, searching or aligning that love, your love life with yourself. Is really, really, really important. And I like that. But for me, I'm speaking for Christians. I used to think that like finding love, I have to find someone who's already educated, who's already got a degree, who's already financially secure and things like that. I used to think that way. But as I got deeper with God, now I'm realizing that I don't get to choose my husband. God chooses my husband for me. That's where the energy has to align with the universe, whatever you believe in. But if God chooses your husband, that's why some people like Carol Ann and Claudia, I like this topic, because that's why when you see people who have gone through their parents, if they've gone through the abusive relationship, if they have not worked on themselves to remove that energy, what they're going to align themselves, they're going to align themselves with what their parents have gone through, which is abusive partner. So I like this topic, you guys, that you've chosen, because when you say alignment, it means I have to work on myself. I got to prepare myself, remove every baggage in my life. So I'm ready to align what I'm looking for, fixing myself with what I'm looking for. And naturally it happens just when you're ready. And naturally it happens. Sometimes people, they say they can't find love because in their words they're saying they're ready, but in their subconscious mind they're not ready. There's fear. So it's really important to get rid of that fear, so your words aligns with what you are looking for. And then once you align with that, then you can put your costume, like Shirin said, and go grab your Miss Right or Mr. Right. means I'm ready. Cling on. I'm coming and I'm ready with a different language.
Yeah, find someone that speaks the same language as you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
It's important.
And although maybe there's something to consider is that if they don't quite speak the same language as you, you're both open to learning each other's language. There's
Yeah.
an openness again. So it is, what is it that you want in a relationship? And I think for me, that's the phrasing rather than what you are looking for. So it takes away this thing that you're searching. It's like setting the intention. What is it you want in a relationship? Who do you want to be within that relationship? You know, what do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? How do you want your partner to feel? You know, things like that, those sort of qualities. Because if your partner doesn't make you feel this way, or you don't feel the love or the satisfaction or the contentment, whatever it is you want to feel within a relationship, if that's not there, then you know that you're not in alignment in that relationship. So there was two ways of looking at alignment, isn't there? Going back to that again, or in alignment with yourself. Then there's alignment within the relationship. But if you're clear on what your values are and what kind of energy you bring to a relationship, who are you and who do you want to be and who are you within this relationship? If you're really clear, and as you were saying, Claudia, expect clarity. If you're clear, and as you said, Shireen, if you're clear, that reticular activating system, it just goes, oh, okay, that's what you want, boom, 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 and sends out the signal. And it's also having someone who's open to making the relationship work. You know, maybe it's an adventure. You want an adventure. You want somebody who you that doesn't maybe speak your language, or does speak your language but speaks another one more fluently, and you want to get to know it. It's playing those sort of games, because it's all a game at the end of the day. Life is a game. It's full of games. And it's understanding the rules of the game and just playing it, you know. So finding love is a game. And it's at the end of the day, love is within you. Have you found love within yourself? So again, I come back to finding, is that searching in a sense, but it's, I think I'm going around somewhere else. But it's getting that fulfillment that you want. You know, it's the feeling. It's going back to that feeling. What do you want to feel? How do you want to feel when you're in a relationship, a loving relationship? You know, for me, that I think that's what's coming up quite strongly. But
it does always come back to us anyway, you know. Yeah, I think everyone, please, or the life is the mirror principle. So what you experience and feel and know to be true about yourself inside, this is what life is going to bring you in outside as a mirror, as well as a reflection of you. Something else in regards to emotional readiness, I just got, as well as information, alignment. You want to be with yourself in alignment, yes, but then as well you have to understand how we have our conscious and the subconscious mind and the beliefs as well. Okay, so on a conscious mind level, which is the tip of the iceberg, and it makes up to 5% of the whole mind. So 5% consciously, you might think, okay, I am ready for love. I want to get ready, prepare myself, align to everything, what I need to do. 5% only, okay? But then we have all the rest underneath the water, the iceberg, the rest of it, 95% the subconscious mind. And here we have the programs, the beliefs, the traumas, you know, just like things we stored as well in there, and we don't even want to look at. And this is actually as well what, yeah, directs us as well to find the perfect alignment match into our life too. So you have to understand as well how to be, how not to be in conflict with the conscious and the subconscious mind. Shireen, would you like to add a bit more as well into is how not to be into conflict with these two levels? Yeah.
You want me to answer about how not to be in conflict?
Yeah. Just like some tips, just like, to be in alignment. Yeah.
Right. Where do I start on that one? Right. I think that our brain is working all the time, right? So it doesn't matter. 7 plus 2 bits of information is all that our cognitive load can handle. But I started to think about if you're not in alignment with your mind and your unconscious mind. So basically, as you were saying, I think what you were meaning, Claudia, is that our unconscious mind might not be in agreement with what our conscious mind is thinking of, right? And how we will experience that are when we find ourselves in difficult situations, like in a marriage that's not supporting us, or in a relationship that isn't supporting us. And basically it's because we're in conflict all the time with ourselves, because we can't say this or we can't say that, or we fear this or we fear that. And that's because what's happening is we're not safe. Within that whole container, we don't feel safe. And when we don't feel safe, it means that we are always going to be in high alert, and we're going to be, what we're looking for will always find us, right? So we're open now to all the things that are outside our alignment. We're open all of a sudden to people that are not ideally suited to us. We won't know how, because if we haven't found this internal alignment, an internal agreement for ourselves, we won't know how to monitor that. So it means that we're now open to anything rather than the person that we are thinking about, or the agreements that we would like to have in our relationships. So I think what's really important is that most of us is driven by our unconscious mind. You just have to think about your sweet in the fridge, and within a second you're down there thinking, eating it before you even know it. And there's not many people that haven't had that situation. You want to have a drink? I know my partner says, oh, I feel like a drink, and he's already got his shoes on and out. If he sort of thinks, oh, it's been a hard day, I think I'll go and buy a beer. So we all have these kinds of things that we don't realize we are driven predominantly by our unconscious mind. When we take time to think about it and to sit and say, what is it that we want? What is it that will make me happy? What is it that I need to be able to do? So the active part is, what do I need to do in that principle of being able to match this feeling so that I feel happy, I feel safe, that I feel that I'll be okay. And allowing myself then in the presence of someone to feel that too, right? And to also allow that they in your presence feel that too. So, it's recognizing that we're all part of that system. It's not just one system. We're blending in another system when we're in a relationship with someone else. But I think in the idea of the unconscious mind is really to think about it in the sense that every bit of communication that's non-verbal is unconscious. Unless we're conscious. Now, I've already moved my hand before I even thought about it. Because all gestures are unconscious unless we consciously do it, right? Most gestures are unconscious. And we have an area in our brain, the proprioceptive area, that is really mainly focusing on our muscles. It moves our muscles all of the time. So, and it's our sense of space and of time, of space in space, is 3D. So if we think about that, we are spending time interpreting. So if I'm talking with my hands and I'm talking in congruence in this kind of way, what happens is you go, she's aligned, because her body is working, both hands are working this way. She's talking about something that's passionate. If I was just talking with one hand, you'd go, that's interesting. But if I'm talking with two hands, you go, that's a different alignment. So most of our gestures, all nonverbal communication, unless you've actually purposely thought about it, is nonverbal and is unconscious. So if we think about that, most of our life is ruled by unconscious behaviors. We might want to think about some points in our day where we can be conscious and consciously choose. So when we think about what it is we want in a relationship, we're starting to consciously choose, and we prime our unconscious to then start to act in the way that we want it to act. So like when I was talking about the reticular activating center, by making that choice, it literally primes that area of the brain. It primes our muscles as well. It primes that part of the cerebellum that then pushes us. It has an impulse drive within our body, and it moves us without us even really needing to know about it. It'll do it. When I've met my partner and I'd written my list of what I want and how will I know that they are that kind of person, like someone that is caring and considerate? How will I know? I really needed to have the evidence that I had written down and thought about it. Well, it would be that he'd make sure he phoned me, or it would make sure that he'd listened to something I said and was able to repeat it back in a particular way. So these kind of things I had for myself, so that when he did arrive, I was not going to lose him. Let me tell you, I was all of a sudden doing all sorts of things, which I would be picking up the phone, which I would never have done before, because we play games in when you're younger, you play games with boys, you don't phone boys, right, men? So there was all of this stuff. I bypassed that. I had the phone already in my hand before I even realized that I had dialed the number. Because when we set that intention in such a clear way and we are resonant with it, then our unconscious mind will do the work for us. Because it's bigger than us. It's much bigger than us.
Beautiful.
Has that kind of explained it or not?
Some
Have I
deep
gone
stuff.
too much around the topic?
That's deep.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, ladies. Sometimes we do destroy ourselves by subconsciously when we communicate negativity and stuff. So I like it, Serena, when you explain about the preparation of meeting your spouse and how you were ready and how you were going to behave in that relationship. You were tired of games, and you had communicated with subconscious mind, and Daddy had you that I hear you, actually, you're tired of games. And then he just brought that, man, I did the same as well. So he just brought that kind of memory that you're looking for. So I think it's really, really important for people to, when they're single looking for love, and really to go deep within themselves, working on themselves and asking themselves questions like everybody, you ladies have said, and be clear about what you really want, and not go in conflict with your decision when you meet the guy. Because once you are clear about what you want, when you meet the wrong person, you will know that that's not the person that I want. And don't go in conflict, because sometimes we end up asking people, what do you think? But at the end of the day, that person is not going to be dating that person. You are going to be dating them. And if your subconscious mind is communicating with the universe, with God, I think for me, I'll say go back to God and say, is this the right guy for me? Is this the right woman for me? If you're feeling in conflict, so that it can clarify, yes, it is the right person. If it's not the right person, give me the signs. Like Shireen, you asked for the signs that just signals he's the right guy. And energy-wise, there were no games, you were ready, and he came ready too as well. So I think that is really, really important for people. Like when you're looking for love, to really, really go deep and really understand the power of alignment and the energy. I've never really focused on the energy until Carol Annie, every time I had problems, I talked to her and she would say, what do you think what is within you that is attracting this? And I'll be like, I'm asking the woman a question. I've got a problem here, and she's telling me, what do I think it's? But then when I go home now, when I'm quiet, now I start asking myself questions. What is attracting this? I'll end up realizing it's either what my parents have gone through, it's either what I'm going through, or it's either fear. So then I'll start saying, Bugger, why does she have to do this to me? But now I'm actually aligning with the energy. Now I've learned that. And sometimes I'll be praying to God and she'll be like, what was your prayer? And then I'll be like crying and she'll be like, what was your prayer? What did you ask God to do? And then I'll be explaining and she'll be like, okay, so what don't you think that God is showing you what you asked me to answer? Does he have to do this? So now I understand the alignment. What does it mean? I understand.
And that's the same, yeah, with you bringing love in. And I love what you're saying there. It's coming back to yourself. If you're not getting love, then it's going, well, what? Or you're getting somebody who is not fully what you want. They're not, they're causing you pain, or they're not, you're not feeling that fulfillment. It's about going inside and what in you has attracted that. So I love that, Nomsa, that bringing back to that, because that's exactly what it is. It's coming back to yourself again. What in you has attracted this particular person who isn't quite what you want, hasn't quite fitted it, but they've, a lot of it, of their qualities and what you want, you want, but you don't feel that satisfaction, or something doesn't feel, it feels a bit off, And again, it's just going inside. So what part of you has attracted that? And maybe there's a limiting belief in there. I don't deserve someone who fully, is meant to be with me, or who I, want. So it's going in, seeing what that is and addressing that. And that's where we can help you. If you can't find that limiting your belief yourself, or if you found it, you don't know what to do with it, how to transform it, find yourself a coach or a mentor, or get in touch with one of us, because we can help you through that process to actually then transform those limiting beliefs, transform those traumas that have stuck within you, that hold you back and you don't feel safe. So you can find that safety that you were talking about, Shireen, because it is about, you want to feel safe. You want to feel loved. Those are basic in there, basic needs. And then again, it's your wording, how you want to word it, because everybody uses different words for the same thing, and again, it's your wording is what's important. How do you word it? What you want to feel, what you want to experience with this person. Do you want to experience being taken care of? Or do you want to experience being powerful? You're empowered to go out and get what you want, and empowered to grow. What is it that you want to experience in this relationship? So again, yeah, it's that going inside is very much what brings you into alignment and attracts. Because once you've sorted out, if you've attracted someone that isn't quite what you're wanting, once you deal with that inside you, they'll drift away. It's not, you don't have to push them away.
Yeah.
They will just drift away, because that alignment isn't there for them. You're not attracting them anymore. The whole relationship changes. They'll drift away, or the way you are together is different. You suddenly realize, well, actually, no, we're really great friends. And then that allows that space for someone else to come in, who might just be that person that you are wanting. So again, are you open? Are you ready for this person? And if they're still not coming, then go inside. What part of you is closed off? It's going, well, yes, I want all this. And you say it's that thinking mind that you were talking about, that 5% is thinking, well, I want this. But that 95% is what's actually ruling the roost, what's driving it all. So it's getting conscious of what those drivers are, what the triggers are, what are the patterns that you find yourself in, what are your limiting beliefs. It's all of that. So yeah, it comes back to you every time, because if you're, what's that quote I love the most, the one who's the most flexible controls the conversation. So if you're really rigid in what you're saying, oh, I want this, and you're not willing to change, then you'll attract people to you who are not willing to change or being not open, and you'll be going, oh, this isn't, So yeah, it's being open, flexible, and it is developing that flexibility within yourself and that resilience to bounce back. Because if that person that shows up isn't quite what you want, it's developing resilience to bounce back and go, okay, thank you. That's another no. Every no is a step to a yes, isn't it? So if it's not them, then there'll be someone there who's, got everything. And you just stand in that each time. So you can develop that mindset, that way of being. That's what will help you eventually to attract that person.
I would like as well to add another little tip as well. I think Carol Ann just mentioned briefly earlier, values. So what are your values? Well, like in life, and here as well, that you can find, no, we don't want to do search and find, that you can align with those values, and they're being reflected as well in your partner as well. Just like something else for you to be in alignment with the partner outside, when you know your values, and then you just like see where they are being as well lived outside in that person, and then it's as well more of an alignment, values. And something else Carol Ann just mentioned as well, worthiness, just like as well, are you ready? And as well, do you have any stories, limitations inside of you in regards to why you feel or believe that you don't deserve love as well? So just like here, be honest as well with yourself. Sit down, take time to write down and see what's coming up, meditate on it as well, because we all have our own worthiness stuff going on, stories we picked up in the past. We made it mean something about us. And if we don't recognize them, acknowledge them, and change the story or flip the script, they will be still playing out in our life. And we would come up as well with this belief that I don't deserve love. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my thinking is, there is something about what we choose, and it really is about how do we choose love? How do we choose love in a situation when things are not going quite the way we want it to go? But how do we choose love for ourselves?
Oh, they're gone. Sorry, I missed them.
No, so we can hear you.
They're
mute
gone.
yourself.
Sorry, I was saying someone wanted to talk to us.
Right.
To us. I missed them. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Sorry, Shireen, go on.
I was saying hi to them on LinkedIn.
Okay.
But they left.
Yeah. So really about how do we choose love when we're, and I think that's a really important thing, which is about how do we go without these expectations that we have on somebody else and ourselves, right? What are the expectations we have, and which are really stories on deep levels. It's really a story, but really about what is those expectations are what's going to allow us to be happy on some level. So we expect people to be respectful to us, then we need to know we have self-respect for ourselves so that we can be respectful to others. And it was just reminding me of something that I was listening the other day, where someone just said, I just chose to love this person no matter what. She had a grudge about somebody else, But even though she was really upset about the person that she loved, she would rather kind of blame a past event until something happened. And she said, well, what happened if this guy paid me back money? Then who could I then moan about? With the I've chosen to not moan about this man that I love. It was so funny, but it was such a change in her thinking pattern, which was when she said, well, okay, I can have this back, and I know that this is a choice of love. This is a choice of just expecting and not expecting at the same time. Which was very interesting, and it was a different focus on thinking about love, but it made me really deeply reflect on how we hold accountability to love. I suppose that's what I'm thinking about. How do we hold our own self-accountability to love? Maybe that's something we should all pay attention to.
Maybe that's a great topic for next time, another time.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm just looking at the time.
Yeah, me too.
Want to round up.
Yeah, I didn't want to carry on because I realized.
Yeah.
Stop. Anyone said their words of encouragement?
Sorry?
Have you guys said your words of encouragement to the audience?
I don't know. Do you want to just quickly? Because I don't think we consciously did that.
Sure. Yeah, words of encouragement. Okay. So basically, as well, one sentence: every one of us individually as well emits a unique energy of vibration shaped by the experiences, beliefs, and emotional states as well. So this is as well for us to be looking at internally how we can then get in alignment with the love outside. And there is a beautiful quote, it's one of my famous as well, of Rumi: your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and to find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. All right, that's me.
Stream.
Yeah, I was just thinking about when you were talking about that, Claudia. I was thinking that the idea of just expect miracles, and I don't know why that came up for me right now. But we think miracles don't happen, but miracles happen every day. The sun comes up, right? No matter what, we are alive. We are the miracle of life, right? So it's really important to just think about expecting miracles, and miracles will find you. You don't have to go and find them. They are there for us just to see and to presence them when they arrive, because they are there all the time. So yeah, expect miracles, because miracles in love are there.
Love that. Love that. So just a very simple quote. There's two quotes actually. One is a Rumi quote: what you seek is seeking you.
Yes,
and I remember hearing that years ago thinking, oh my goodness.
I like that.
The thought, because I could be dashing around here, there and everywhere, and that person's seeking me and I'm not still. So be still, So yes, so the right person will not find you when you are desperately searching. They will find you when you are at peace with yourself. And at peace with yourself is the quote. But being at peace with yourself means you are in alignment.
Yeah.
Because there's peace, there's no Namsa.
I love that, Carol, and have peace with yourself when you means you're in alignment. That's so deep and powerful. Everything we do has to align with what we are looking for, guys. For those who are watching, which is the coaches are here. If you are that person and you're struggling, you're like, you know what? Everything I try, I end up going back to the same story. Please do get in touch with us, and we can help you to find that true love that aligns with what you are looking for. And if you're watching us from YouTube, please do share our videos and do subscribe as well. And we have two groups in Gossip Talkers and Unique Billionaire Mind. So please join the groups and be part of the family. And two pages, Gossip Talkers and Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency. And these guys as well, they have their own social media. Guys, please do follow them on their social media and get in touch. Go to the website www.hseia.coach and you sign up if you're looking for love. If you're looking to find your own voice, there's a section where you can sign up as well. And God bless and live with grace. And I hope you